What's up, YouTube? This is Jeff from Robo's Reviews. I am bringing you today a quick review on two controllers I have been using over the past couple weeks, and I just wanted to give you my experience with them and tell you, my thoughts. And my thoughts, a spoiler, these are awesome controllers, and I'm going to go over that really quickly with you. So, the NES30 Classic Edition comes with the retro receiver. And what this is this will actually plug into an NES Classic or an NES Mini, whatever you want to call it, and it allows for the usage of Bluetooth controllers. Now I say Bluetooth because it works with the NES30, which comes with the set, but you can also pair this with an SNES30, a PS4 controller, a Wii U controller, a Wiimote, a PS3 controller, almost any controller you can think of that is Bluetooth compatible. So, pretty nifty device here. But the other thing I want to mention about this is this also works with the PC. So, if you have a PS4 controller, for example, and you want to use it on your PC, and if any of you guys have used it in the past, you probably know you have to use some third-party controller, like input mapper, to get it to map correctly. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. This actually kind of takes the guesswork and the tediousness out of that process, because you hold this button down until it starts blinking. It'll go into pairing mode, and then for your PS4 controller you can hold down the options and the PS button, and it will put that into pairing mode. These two will automatically sync up and connect. And what it does at that point is it makes sure it connects it to the retro receiver, but the retro receiver, the PC will think it's actually an Xbox 360 controller. So it kind of does the same thing, but without having to have the software. So really neat device here. So it's, even if you don't have an NES Classic, there's definitely use if you do PC gaming. So I'm not going to talk about that any further, but again, retro receiver, very good device to have. If you don't buy it in the set, it's like 15 bucks on Amazon, or you can get it for like 10 bucks on eBay. There's a lot of people selling them because some people just don't know that these have another usage. So anyhow, enough with that. We're going to get into the controller. So what I want to show you here is with the NES30, this, as you immediately see, looks very similar to the classic NES controller. Aside from, it having two buttons up here, the X and the Y, and then the L and R buttons. So what it ends up doing, it gives you that classic feel, and I have to say, this feels perfect. Like almost identical to the old NES controller. I mean, I've played some games with it, and there's no lag time. It feels really good in the hand. The only thing I would say I don't like about it is, I know there's really no better way to do this with this type of controller, and I definitely appreciate them adding it on, but the L and R buttons, they kind of feel, I don't know, very clicky, and it doesn't feel like 100% right. You kind of got some jagged edges up here, so when you normally hold the controller, it's kind of down here, but up here you're kind of hitting these edges. So with that being said, I do really like it. It's this controller, I mean, it also will, I mean, I'll get into it as well, but it pairs pretty much with every device you can want. PC, Android, the new Nintendo Switch will actually pair with. The Wii, it has a lot of functionality. It's great. If you want that old classic Nintendo feel, you cannot ask for a better controller than this guy. With that being said, now this is definitely my preferred controller of choice. It's almost identical software-wise and hardware-wise to the NES30, but the Super Nintendo controller was meant to have these two buttons up here, so they feel like they should be there. It's perfect. It's rounded. I mean, this is personal preference. I can't state that enough, but I really like the SNES30 controller more than I do the NES30. But it's just, you know, for nostalgia, whatever one you prefer, they're both really good. They both have A, B, X, Y. You know, it's start, select. The D-pad feels awesome. The L&R feels great. These controllers are amazing. I applaud 8BITDO. I can't wait to try out their future controllers. They're coming out with the SNES30 Pro, which has 2 sticks on it. I'm definitely going to get my hands on that and do a review on that when that comes out. But, you know, like, for the only downside I would have to say about these controllers is the price. But it's, you know, you can get this one for, you know, about 30 bucks, you know, on Amazon, maybe a little cheaper on eBay. This guy you can find roughly in the range of about $23 on eBay. I think on Amazon it's about 30 bucks. But you can't go wrong with these. They have those wired controllers out there, the wired ones that look like an SNES controller, and they are all garbage. I have played with lots of them. The D-pads barely work. The buttons aren't responsive at all. I definitely recommend, you know, spending a little bit extra money. Pick up these controllers from 8BITDO. You cannot possibly go wrong with them. And like I said, if you don't need it, or if you don't have an SNES or NES Mini, you could still pick this up and have usage of this if you do PC gaming. Like I said, it takes some of the guesswork out of connecting controllers. It's just, you know, to pair it, you just push the button, and then for these guys, you'll want to hold down the start button, and if you hold down X and then hold down start, it'll put it into an X input mode, which kind of makes it think it's like an Xbox 360 controller, which most Steam games are compatible with. Or if you just push start, it'll go into a direct input, and that way it's kind of like the PlayStation controllers, but it works for a lot of games. But X input is kind of the way you want to go when connecting to a PC anyway. But with just start, it'll work great with, you know, connecting to Android devices, and as well as connecting to retro receivers in your NES Mini. So that is it. This went a little longer than I thought it would, but I will put a link in the description to both of these controllers on Amazon. You can pick them up if you like them. But definitely, you know, leave me comments, subscribe, like this if you do. You can dislike it if you don't. You won't hurt my feelings. But anyhow, I hope to see you guys all in the future. Take care, everyone.